Yo, what's going on, good people? This is Ramsey at Empowerment by Ramsey. Coming to you by way of Motivation by Ramsey. So let's get started. Today's conversation or thought or segment is about dream catchers and dream vampires or dream killers. So I'm jumping straight into it. I'm having a conversation with my daughter. I want to start that off with this conversation. And I said, hey, let's pray. She said, no, I don't want to pray. I don't feel like praying. I said, yo ass is about to pray with me. On the real. However, she did it begrudgingly. Why didn't she want to pray? It's the biggest question. Well, she's been disappointed by God. And in all honesty, if I'm telling you the truth, and just as I explained to her, her disappointment wasn't entirely in God. If I'm being truly honest, the real point of the finger should be on me. See, my decisions affect her directly, or rather, indirectly. And when I feel in my intuition and my wisdom to move in a direction, and I don't do it, we're not being punished, but it affects us the way it shouldn't have. And for any reason at all, when she feels as if she haven't gotten what it is that she wants, she feels disappointed. So I had to explain to her that, for one, we have to make clear that our universal being, God, whatever you have a relative name or term to, is not a magician, like a damn genie, popping out of the clouds and just, granting wishes. The truth of the matter is, it is much more than that. It is a relationship. Don't get me twisted. You can impress upon our universal being and even the formless universe what you would like, and it will happen for sure. You will manifest your dreams, your hopes, and your goals. Reference point: Wallace, Science of Getting Rich. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen without work. And I think that could be the most difficult part to digest. That work part. It's not going to just be flowers and daisies and lilies and running through the grass. No, it could be really painful. In fact, it will be painful. And the most painful part of it all is getting ourselves out of the way. And in regards to allowing ourselves to be led in a direction that's best for us and our family, if you're going down the street and you know there's a pothole, but you continue to go down that street with that pothole, and instead of acknowledging that there's a pothole, you try to cover it up and pretend that it's not there. Assume that you can jump over it because you have more than enough endurance and strength to do such a thing. Think you can go around it because you have the will to be agile and manipulate your way through it. Or, the worst of them all, you assume by faith you can walk over the pothole and the air will support you. No. The pothole is there. It's not going anywhere. The best thing to do is not go down the street with the pothole. And when you're ready to fill that pothole and you have the necessary supplies or tools, God tools, to do that, then you go down that street with the pothole. You fill it up and you do what's necessary. But if you don't have the necessary supply or tool, and if you haven't regarded yourself enough to build more faith and courage in certain areas of our lives, then unfortunately you put yourself inside of a position you don't need to be in. The best thing we can do for ourselves is build up the faith and the courage to love ourselves and support ourselves, which leads me back to my title point: dream catchers and dream killers and vampires. Who am I referring to? I know oftentimes when we talk about this, we're referring to outside sources. I'm not this time. I'm referring to ourselves. In all honesty, the worst person that we have to deal with as it pertains to this, dream catchers and dream killers, is ourselves. Who we need to look out for is ourselves. The information that we no longer need in our lives that serve us. The condition of our thinking. The condition of our emotions. Whether or not we're providing ourselves with enough rest and mental and emotional clarity and support that we can move in a direction easily and swiftly. That doesn't mean it's not going to be, any anvils falling, that gets in our way for sure. You would think it's Acme around this motherfucker. However, that doesn't mean you don't continue to move forward in the direction that you want to or you desire to. Because what often occurs is that we get discouraged and we don't acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fact that you're discouraged, that you don't want to continue to move forward, that you're not in the mood, that you don't feel like it. Acknowledge these things to yourself and be honest with yourself about it, because if you don't, unfortunately, you're only setting yourself up to assumably walk over that pothole with faith and fall right inside of it, and perhaps even make a hole inside of that pothole for yourself. Why is this important? Why is this important? I worked at the school for a couple years, and this is going to be another segue to a conversation. My dream and desire was to mentor young men more specifically. So I had that going in a school that I was working in. It was sweet. I loved it. It was the bomb. However, my largest challenge in a way of helping these young men to move in a direction of clarity, of understanding, to not have, not give away their remote control, just so someone can push their buttons. Just helping them to see the value in this information. When any of them cannot see the value in the information that I'm providing them, they're not going to be willing or subjected to it. Despite the ideology that I bring before them. It doesn't matter how easily they can obtain it, how simple it is, and how far it can take you or them. If you don't see the value in it, you're not going to be interested. The value we put on ourselves and we know about ourselves by taking the time out to, 1, restore ourselves. 2, look at our mental position and emotional position to see where we are. And maybe we need to take a small break, an interim break for that matter, so we could regain momentum and continue to move in that direction. Why are these things important when we're pursuing our dreams? Because you may have the sight, but you may have lost the vision on the way. It reminds me of a story of a biblical Samson. And we all know the story. Samson lost his sight. But in the end, he still realized the vision. The vision was to rid his nation of their enemy. And with the strength that he had left, he pushed in that direction. I'm not telling you to become a martyr. Hell no. No. But what I am suggesting, in the meantime, as you're taking the time out to reinvigorate your vision so you can move clearly in the direction that you want, don't assassinate yourself by moving vaguely into or plateauing and assuming that you can continue to move with all vigor and passion and strength as you once had before. Let's be real and be honest. It happens to the best of us. Honestly, you're going to end up being punch drunk and just staggering around, telling yourself, "Oh, I'm pursuing my dream." I've been there. Worked myself into a stupor. I love providing tools for anyone to build their lives. But let's be honest. If I'm running a business outside of this, although this is my passion, and I'm running a business outside of this, and doing my job outside of this, so I can get paid to stay in the life that I want. When I get to this and I'm exhausted, I need to admit that to myself and give myself the option of moving in a direction that is best for me in that moment, providing myself access to mental clarity and providing myself the ability to choose emotional support. Why is this important? Because if what I see is valuable to me, and I see the value in what I'm doing and presenting to the world because it comes from me, then I want to do it from a place of full instead of a place of empty. Because if I'm operating from a place of empty, I'm going to give you anything because I'm empty. I'm running on fumes. But if I'm full, I'm 99 on a highway. You can't stop me. You can't catch me. These are necessary factors that we need to consider when we are pursuing our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations. And it doesn't matter how assumably, minute it may be considered to someone else. Hey, you don't need to ask anyone permission to pursue what you want to. But what you can do is take the time out to build on your faith and your character in the areas that are necessary so you can continue to pursue this valuable asset that you call your aspirations, your dreams, your desire, whatever it may be. And from there, you will be able to easily, as time progresses, departmentalize, the necessities of your life and prioritize them to the extent that you can utilize an Eisenhower matrix of now, later, someone else, another time. These are all beneficial factors for you. Why not? You can never have enough tools for the garden or for the construction that you're doing, or even your garden that you want to bloom, or the field that you're tilling. You can never have enough adequate tools to utilize to support you in your goal, your dream, your aspirations. Why not you? So instead of you developing frustration and annoyance and anger and resentment towards your higher power, assuming that you're not getting something out of it, or him or her, whatever you qualify your higher power as, or building latent resentment towards yourself, or stigmatizing yourself, making yourself out to be an enemy that you're not, or out to be something else, that someone else told me that you are, which you're not. You may want to consider where you are on your measuring stick of success. And take a moment, just a moment, to clarify to yourself whether at this time, are you killing your dream? Are you sucking the life out of your dream? Or are you the catcher of your dream that's going to run you toward your goals, your aspirations, and all that you desire? This is Ramsey at Empowerment by Ramsey. And remember, this is from the heart of God through the soul of man in the form of love to you. Stay hungry, stay humble. Talk to you soon.